Hello everyone, hope all of you are in good health and your preparation is going in full throttle. Hope you have gone through and enjoyed every prelim series of IASbaba, be it the 60-day plan, be it the 500 odd topics, the rapid revision series, the integrated revision plan, or the full length mock test. A lot of thank you mails have been pouring in. We are overwhelmed by your love and affection and for your comments on the website. In fact, I have to salute you for your perseverance and determination, especially during this COVID times, because I completely understand a lot of emotions must be running through, but still you were able to cope up with it and you were able to give your best shot. And in fact, I would also like to thank you because you kept us on our toes. We never even wasted a single day in the last 6-7 months, and we were always with one initiative or the other, right? We have tried to give our best, and thank you for that. And the other thing is, like, the joy or the kick that we'll get is if that can make a difference in your preparation or in your results. We are in the last week of the preparation phase. So to be precise, we are left with 5 days before the exam. So the most obvious question would be how to strategize or how to effectively use this 5 days. And so in this video, what I'll be doing is I'll be giving the do's and don'ts in the next to be followed in the next 5 days for the exam, right? And also I'll be making be coming up with a video on what should be the strategy or the do's and don'ts on the day of the exam. That will be a separate video done. So before getting into the do's and don'ts in the next 5 days, I would like to mention about this particular cricket match that was played between Kings 11 and Rajasthan Royals in the last Sunday night. I think most of you would have, or even at least a few of you would have watched it, or even the highlights of it. What a fantastic, fabulous and thriller match it was. It was this highest successful chase in the IPL history. And here I have to mention about Rahul Tewatia, right? Rahul Tewatia is all over the news now. He's pretty famous. He's become famous on the social media because of that one particular match, where if you look at his game, right, there's a lot of lessons learned. Why I picked up this particular match is there's a lot of lessons for me and for you, and I would rather call it as life lessons. If you look at his initial innings, that is like in the first 19 balls, he was able to score only 8 runs, but later on he went on to score 45 runs in the remaining 12 balls. So what that tells us is, no matter what, who the critics are, right, what the situation is, never give up, never lose hope, never give up. Just hang on and have a strong faith in yourself, believe in yourself, and things will fall in place. So this is what we should all of us learn from this particular innings of Tewatia. And apart from that, if you have seen his batting in the first 19 balls, he was trying to experiment. But later on, he realized that that is not his strength, the reverse sweep or whatever it is. It was not his strength, and he started batting to his strengths. So that is what I would like all of you to learn from this particular innings, right? Play to your strengths, right? Hang on, have firm faith in yourself. Things will definitely will fall in place. And even if you look at the cutoffs, right, it is not so huge in the sense, in terms of like the net score. If you take from 2013 to the latest times, it does not cross more than 110. Of course, just 1 year it was somewhere around 114, right? Apart from that, it has always remained below 110, right? And even the last 2 years, if you take it, the cutoff was even lower. So to be on the safer side, net score of net 55 questions, right, that is score 110, is on the safer side, right? So anyway, I'll be discussing about that later. But before that, I want to give you the 3 fundas or the fundamentals on which the prelims exam is based on, right? Or I can call it as the 3 golden rules of UPSC prelims. The first rule is UPSC prelims is all about identifying the right answer. Fine. So why do I say that is, like, unlike prelims, mains or interview, right, you don't have to write everything from scratch. The answers are given in front of you. There are 4 options. The answer is either A or B or C or D. It cannot be E, F, X, Y, Z, right? It cannot be that. So the answer is already there, right? If you have that keen observation and if you can use your common sense, you can get at least 8 to 10 questions like that in every UPSC prelims question paper, right? So, and this also simplifies the entire preparation, because that aura that is created over the prelims exam, right, or the UPSC exam itself dents the confidence of students. So that is the reason I say prelims is all about identifying the right answer, the presence of mind, your common sense will help you a lot in that keen observation and identifying the right answer. Fine. And second thing is this exam, right? The success of this exam depends on your knowledge, of course, and it accounts to 60 to 70%. The remaining 30 to 40% depends on your mental strength, the confidence level, the calmness, the coolness that you, how composed you are on the day of the exam. So that matters a lot. So do remember this, right? So don't get panicked and don't lose your cool, right? So that is the second rule. The third rule is you cannot complete the syllabus, right? 100% syllabus cannot be completed no matter what, right? So don't run behind getting new things, reading new things, right? And just load information. In fact, this will only increase the information load and processing becomes difficult, right? So even if you're not able to complete the 100% syllabus, that's okay. That is normal. That's quite normal, right? So these are the three golden rules that you need to remember about this prelims exam, right? Now coming to the do's of the prelims exam in the next 5 days or in this last week, right? Revision, right? Revision should be the sole mantra on which your preparation should be based on right now for the next 4-5 days, right? So what to revise, right? The next question is what to revise. So things where you feel that's very important and you might forget. These are the things that you have to revise. For example, coming to current affairs, it can be indexes, it can be international organization, their reports, right? Or it can be the government schemes, right? Government policies, right? Or the environment part of it, the wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, the IUCN status, the endangered species, all that. Right? These are certain things that you can make a note of it, or you can relook at it again, right? Or coming to polity, the tables, especially the tables like the schedules, the difference between the president's power, the governor's power, Article 358, Article 359, right? Or the pardoning power of the president, how is it different from the governor's power, right? The veto powers, right? Jurisdiction of High Court, Supreme Court, things like this. So just go through it once again, revise, and important institutions, be it the president, prime minister, the council of ministers, whatever it is, right? It is based on simple funda like the structure that you need to follow. How are they appointed? How are they removed? What are the powers and functions? Right? This is the framework on which you should be looking at, right? Or coming to the geography part. Geography atlas becomes important. Both Indian map and the world map becomes important here, and the maps related to the cropping system, the river pattern, the rivers flowing, right? The what do you say, multi-purpose projects on which river it is built on, right? Things like that, soils, vegetation, right? Just go through it, and economic survey, budget, tables given in that again becomes important here, right? And history, right? In history, the events become important. You need to trace the events, the important incidents that have happened, the cause effect relationship here, right? Especially like during from 2030s to 1947 till we get freedom, so many commissions come in, cabinet mission commission or Simon commission, right? Cabinet mission plan, right? Different commissions come into picture, and different recommendations are given. So these are the points, like every commission or every committee that comes up right to India comes up with some one or two different things, right? Those are things that you need to note down, especially in that spectrum, right? There's the table after every chapter that is given, so you can just go through it, right? So these are the things, or even art and culture for that matter, right? You can just go through the facts which you think you might forget and which you think is important from prelims point of view. So this is the first do. The second one is go through the previous year UPSC question papers. This is a very important thing to do, especially during these times, because you will get to know the language of UPSC, right? See, we as an institution, we always keep our level of difficulty one notch higher compared to UPSC, and we know that this is how the UPSC would frame, and that is the reason we obviously keep it one level higher, so that even your elimination technique might not work. So that is the reason getting habituated to the previous year papers has its own advantage. One is you'll get to know the language of it. Second thing is you will be able to use the elimination technique very well in this. Like it can be the usage of extreme words like none, everywhere, everyone, right, all, always, right, all that, or the possible words like could be, maybe, right, some, few, right. In fact, I've done a video on this as well, right? I've done 3 videos on this. So at least if you don't have time, at least watch the first video wherein I talk about the KCT approach and how to use this elimination technique per se, right, where K stands for knowledge, C for common sense, T for elimination technique. Do watch that video. So this is the second thing that you will know. And third thing is the trend on which the UPSC has been asking. So based on this trend also, it will give you an idea on what topics are important. For example, we used to think that facts are not checked. UPSC will not twist and turn the facts, and it will ask you questions. But it so happened that if you even take the last year paper, 2019 paper itself, there was this question on particularly vulnerable tribal groups, that PVTG, right. It had made a statement that 95 tribal groups fall under this category, but it was not 95, it is 75, right. This is one example. The other example, if I have to give, is maternity bill, maternity act, right, maternity benefit act. In that act, there were 2-3 options given. In that, one option said how many number of paid leaves are given, right. The second thing went to an extent that how many times the women can visit the crèche, right. Is it 4 times or 6 times, right. So the questions are asked to this level. So that is the reason that will give you a direction on which, when you're revising, what facts you can emphasize on. Clear? And the third thing is about CSAT, right. No matter you are from a BTech background or you are an expert in maths or English, whatever it is, at least give 2 hours every day for CSAT. Pick up the previous year UPSC question itself and try to solve that in 2 hours, right. Here also, because when you get because the demand or the questions asked in CSAT is completely different compared to the bank exams or the CAT exams, right. So the level of difficulty or the pattern in which it is asked, you will get to know that, right. Or even in logical reasoning, the round table questions, right, or the weekday, weekend subjects taken, all this type of questions, you'll get an idea. So just go through it, and also you can brush through the basics. When you get an answer wrong, for example, in averages, time, speed and distance, go through the basics, write down the formula, try to work on it. So all this will really help you, especially with CSAT. Clear? So don't take it lightly, because though it is qualifying paper, right, that the questions have been tricky, right. And also you should learn the trend, and also you will get to the trend and pattern of how the questions have been asked in CSAT. So do go through this. And the other thing that I want to emphasize here is, this year it's a bit different. Why? Because you have to be putting on a mask and answering it. So at least daily 1 hour, try to put on a mask, and whenever you're solving this question paper, just try to put on a mask and do it, so that you feel comfortable, just that you feel comfortable. Because see, there'll be even small things that can impact your focus on the day of the exam, right. I hope you understand that, right. And the other thing is, like in the exam hall also, if you're feeling uncomfortable, just pull down your mask so that you can breathe easily. See, obviously the social distance will be maintained, right. So you don't have to worry about that. So when you're feeling difficulty in breathing, or you're feeling uncomfortable, just lower your mask, and so that you can breathe easily, and your focus is on the questions that is given. Is that clear? Fine. Moving to the fourth dose, set your biological clock to the timing of the exam. That becomes very, very important, and that is what you should train your body or condition your body for the next 5 days, right. Because you might be efficient, you can be super creative at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the early morning, or 12 o'clock in the midnight, or 1 o'clock in the midnight, right. But what if your efficiency is 10% lower compared to your peak time during the day, right. What will happen, right. So that is the reason that sleeping pattern, or conditioning your mind in those 2 hours from 9:30 to 11:30, all that matters a lot, right. So that becomes very important. And also your diet and sleep cycles for the next 5 days, please take care of it. Eat healthy, sleep well, right. All this matters a lot. The fifth dose, build a positive ecosystem around you, right. Build a positive ecosystem around you. Any negativity, right, be it your friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is, right? Anything negative, try to avoid, right? Always build a positive ecosystem, because this is the these are the things that you will be carrying forward to the exam, right? Positivity is not something that comes on the day of the exam, right? So it is something that you should condition your body to, and you should fill your days with positiveness for the next 4-5 days, right? That becomes equally important, right? You will realize this on the day of the exam. Now coming to the don'ts of it, right? No new materials, right? No new materials, say no to it, right? Your friend might come up with saying that this is the best material available in the market for art and culture, environment, and last year 3 to 5 questions came from this compilation. No matter what, just say no, stick to your resources, whatever you read, believe in that and revise it more number of times, fine. And second thing is no more mocks, fine. No more mocks. See, again, it has there are exceptions also here, because there are people who bring in that positivity with the scores that they get, but more likely, more chances are that if you're getting a negative score, this might have an impact on your exam day, right? So that is the reason. Instead of that, what you can do is you can take the previous year question paper itself and keep solving that, right? That can be the way forward, right? And third thing is don't repent. Then don't be repentable, don't feel guilty, don't be harsh on yourself, right? There might be days where you would have wasted say 10 days, because of which you could not have because of which you could not revise polity for one more time, right? See, all these are very natural and very normal that would have happened, or because of that, or probably your friend would have covered more, right? See, all this shouldn't come to your mind also, right? Don't be harsh on yourself, because all this will only bring in anxiety and self-doubt in yourself, right? That is the reason I said bring in that positive ecosystem is equally important. Clear? If I were to cut short this, I would say live in the moment. Do remember one thing, whatever emotions you are going through right now is common to every single aspirant who has applied for this exam and who is sincerely preparing for this exam, right? Even if I have to sit for the exam now, or even if any of the toppers have to sit for the exam, they would also be going through the same emotions. Believe me, trust me, it is the same, right? It can be like I am feeling saturated, I'm not able to study, right? Or it can be my friend has covered 3 times more than me, and or solved more 50 tests more than me, right? Or whatever I've studied, will it suffice for the exam or not? Should I have revised more number of times, right? So these are the emotions that is common to every aspirant. So you don't have to feel agitated or frustrated for that, right? Just put your hand on your heart and say all is well, right? And things will definitely will fall in place. And the other thing that I want to tell you is prelims exam is not about solving 100 tests or doing 20 revisions of a subject, right? It is all about the calmness, confidence level, right? That is what will take you forward, fine. And my 2 cents from the experience that I've gained over last 10-12 years, right, in UPSC, or in the last 8 years of my teaching experience, right? What I strongly believe is this journey is going to be about you. It's your journey. Finally it is who's going to help yourself, right? And it does not require a superman or a superwoman, right, to clear this exam, right? You don't require supernatural powers to clear this exam, right? And the other thing that I want to tell you is the feeling of anxiety, nervousness is very common, right? Just like in economy, that 2 to 3% of inflation is always good for the economy. So similarly, for 2 to 3% of below 5%, right, is good, because it will keep you on your toes. It will not make you take things for granted, but make sure that this 5% does not become 50%, right? So that becomes important. So for that, you can try out this breathing exercises, right? You can breathe in and count 1 2 3 4 5, breathe out and count 1 2 3 4 5, and follow the same rhythm. That becomes very important. Follow the same rhythm. It will make you relaxed, and then tell yourself that you have given your best, right? Whatever possible from your end, you have done it. Now it is just that on the day of the exam, you're going there and giving your best shot, right? That should be your strategy. Don't worry about the results. Just enjoy the preparation for the next 4-5 days. And finally, Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, who built the strongest enabler for MSMEs in China on the philosophy, today might be harsh, tomorrow is Ashur, but day after tomorrow is beautiful, right? And these beautiful days are not too far off. It is just a few days ahead of you, right? And I'll meet you in the next video on the do's and don'ts on the D-day of the exam. So stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? Now get back to your studies, and all the best.